Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the best boutique labels there is. It's a company called Arrow. I believe they've been based out of the UK for a long time, but they've expanded into America now. So they've got a really good reputation, one I would completely agree with. They do a great job releasing fantastic transfers. They've done some fantastic work all round, but I'm a little bit confused by their offering a little bit. No matter what I say, though, it's not going to change the fact that it's one of the best boutique labels, and I have a lot of time. I'm just trying to understand how their releases work, the different editions that they have, the different offerings, the different brands that they have. I find it all a little bit strange and slightly annoying as well in places. So I'll give you an idea as to what I mean. We'll just have a quick look on their website. Arrow Brands. So this is, I presume, the original, the very best in cult and horror. Now, for a long time, I didn't really pay much attention to Arrow because I'm not really a horror guy, and I assumed by cult they meant cult horror films. That's not really the case, actually. But it says here they're releasing deluxe definitive editions with uncut versions and newly commissioned artwork, which sounds good. This is presumably their streaming service, which I haven't looked into yet, but, well, let's have a quick look at it. I wonder if there's some sort of a trial period. Yep, start a free trial. So I think I'll check that out, and maybe you should too. So then they have Arrow Academy. Now this is where things get a little bit more confusing. It's one of the UK's leading distributors of catalogue and new release independent art house and world cinema. Okay. Arrow Films, though, I'm not sure what that's really about. Newly made and acquired films. Okay, so presumably that's their production company. That's who, ones that they have a hand in creating themselves, and maybe that's the same for Arrow TV. Regardless, I'm going to be focusing more on Arrow Video and Arrow Academy. What's the difference? And I'll be honest straight off the bat, I kind of struggle to see why it needs to be split into two. But maybe it's just like, okay, this is the horror stuff, or cult and horror, and we have to keep that separate. That's the thing that we're known for. And this one is them branching out. Fair enough. But when I look at some of the films that I have, I'll show you a few examples right now. I'll just bring this down. So, films I'm going to be talking about today, one is called Network, and that's on Arrow Academy. One is called Robocop, that is on Arrow Films. Also on Arrow Films, I've got 12 Monkeys and Donnie Darko. Also on Arrow Academy, I have The Apartment. It does kind of make sense. These I wouldn't necessarily call... Oh, maybe they are. They're art house. Would you call 12 Monkeys cult? Maybe? Robocop? Perhaps. Maybe I'm being a bit judgmental. But it feels like they could probably all be on one label to me. But because they're all stellar films, and I think well-respected films, and when I think of cult, I tend to think of underground more than anything, I guess. But that's not my main issue that I have. The main issue that I have is in all the different editions of each film that they release. Now, I understand that you can have let's have a look, special edition version, shall we say. It's got extras on it. It'll have a booklet. It'll have reversible artwork and all the rest of it. But they call everything a special edition, and that's confusing to me. So this is Robocop. It's on Arrow Films, and this is the only version you can buy. Well, you can buy a 4K of it as well, but this is the only release that they have available on Blu-ray right now. And I'll tell you off the bat, it's the Director's Cut Special Edition. Now, if I have a look online to try and find out what other versions there were, of this, there is a steelbook. It doesn't include a DVD, that's wrong. It actually has two versions of it. Steelbook edition has the director's cut and the theatrical cut. Okay, so to get both versions, if you want the theatrical cut, you have to have the steel version. Now, unfortunately, it's a limited run, so you can't anymore. They also have, if I can find it, a large box, a limited edition, and I'm going to have to Google that one, bear with me. Limited edition. And this one has it's a much bigger case. It takes up the space of 2 discs. I have an example to show you actually, not online, but you get the DVD and a big book, a large book. I'm sure it looks like a great edition. If you love Robocop, then sure, that would be a great one to have. But this is also out of print, and you can't find this one anymore either. Literally, the only one you can find is this Robocop. It's £18, which is, it's not cheap, but it's okay. And I want to show you my version, the back, because it says quite clearly, Director's Cut Special Edition. But there's not really anything special about it. It's literally just 1 disc. There's no booklet inside. It's got a reversible sleeve, which is nice. But is it special? It's just a standard edition, right? And that's what I would call it. So when I bought this and it said special edition, I thought maybe I'm going to get a booklet in it. There's no booklet. The booklet in the limited edition, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same, but in the steelbook there's a booklet in there too, which is good. But you would have paid over the odds for that, and they go pretty quickly, I'm sure. They're out of print. You can't buy them anymore unless you go on eBay, and they are very expensive on eBay. I'm just having a look. Let's see. What's the cheapest you can buy it for now? I mean, you want the steelbook, it's 40 quid. And this one, that's still 18. That's the regular version. This is the limited edition. Oh, that's not bad, 20 quid. Maybe I should take it back. No, that's quite rare. I've seen them more expensive than that for sure. If you like Robocop, get on this one. Magic Pod. Have a look for that. 20 quid sounds like a good deal. But regardless, I don't particularly enjoy the big thick ones anyway, because they take up 2 discs worth of space, and I don't think that's necessary for any edition. But regardless, it's an interesting situation that we find ourselves in, because I'm going to show you a different one now, and you can hopefully understand my confusion when I do. So this is my copy of Network, and this is the special edition. Something interesting to note is that at the bottom there, which the video's flipped, sorry, it will mention that it comes with a collector's booklet down there at the bottom. You can't read it, but collector's booklet. And if I go back onto their website, or at least I go back onto an eBay page, and I find this version, this is the special edition, you'd think it's the same, but the line's missing from the bottom. And it doesn't come with a booklet. So why is this allegedly a special edition? It's not. Surely the version that I have in my hand right now, this is the special edition. This has got the booklet. Very nice. It's quite a thick, lovely booklet, by the way. So what's that about? Why is it this absolutely standard edition called a special edition? That seems crazy to me. It's just missing the line. And it's not that we had extra sleeves, so we just printed it out. They've obviously edited it to take out the part that says there's a booklet. So this should be a standard edition, right? Is it the fact that it exists special? Maybe. That's weird, though, I think. The next one I wanted to talk about, it doesn't worry me that much, but I quite like having a booklet in my films. Forgive me. And I got The Apartment. Again, special edition, but there's no booklet in here. There's nothing. It's just the disc. It doesn't say there's a booklet. It's not just missing it. It just doesn't exist. And as far as I'm aware, there's no version of this with a booklet in it, except this, which is the limited edition. Now, again, they've printed it differently on the back of the actual case itself, so it says limited edition on it, which is fine. And it comes with the big book. It's another double case, and this, I'm going to get rid of this one because, again, it takes up too much space for me. I don't need that. But it would have been nice to have a cut-down version of the booklet in the special edition version, which I bought. But it doesn't, and that's weird to me. There's nothing special about it. And Slightly off topic, I suppose, but you might have noticed my copy of 12 Monkeys comes with a slipcase, which a lot of people really like slipcases. You know I don't care about slipcases. But does that make it special? Maybe. But I actually, this one does come with a booklet, which is really nice. So they're a bit arbitrary on what gets a booklet, what gets a slipcase, as far as I can tell anyway. What constitutes a special edition? It's all over the place. My copy of Donnie Darko is the same. It's a slipcase. It's actually got a director's cut and a theatrical cut and a booklet, which is lovely. That makes it special to me. That's a special edition. If I just bought the theatrical release of that and it had no booklet and it had no slipcase or anything, would it be a special edition? No, it's not a special edition. So why is that network version that you can buy right now, why is that special? I got a special edition of Old Boy. This is a cracker. This comes with 2 discs again and a booklet. Great. No slipcase. I mean, I don't care about slipcases, but it's inconsistent. This is the point. You can think I'm just whinging here, but this one is one of my favourite films, True Romance. It's got the reversible sleeve, it's got the disc. I like that sleeve, that's really nice. All of these are really nice, they're all worth it, but there's no little booklet in there, and yet it's a special edition. I don't think they are special, they're just the standard one, and that's annoying to me. Maybe I'm being really picky there, but as far as I'm concerned, every release on a boutique label should be standardized in some way. I understand you have to have limited editions and maybe even special editions or steelbooks, and that's because they want to make sure they sell a lot as soon as possible to try and recoup their investment and start making money. They need to make money, and they're not going to tell anybody not to buy from Arrow because they're one of the best, and we want to support them as much as we can. And if you love a film and you want this huge, lovely booklet and this great box, maybe you'll treasure that forever. But I kind of feel like for most people that's going to be a one-off purchase. Generally speaking, even if you're a big collector of Blu-ray media, you don't want to be taking up loads of space. In fact, if they could take up less space than that, I'd appreciate it. The Americans got it right. Theirs are like almost half the size. But that's enough on my shelf. If it opened up and it had a lovely booklet in it that I could have a quick read before I watched the film each time, that would be fantastic. And I do like they do reversible covers too, although some are better than others. Which one is it that's not very good? Doesn't really matter. Oh, The Apartment. I don't particularly care much for the reversible cover on there. It's just a load of writing on the front. It's strange. But generally speaking, it's nice that they have that option, so you don't have to have the parental guidance or 18 logo just splattered all over the front. You can flip it round. But unfortunately, you do get a different type of cover when you do that. Regardless, Arrow are brilliant. I just don't know if it's right that they should be calling things special editions when they're not. And my confusion comes in because when you go on their website and you try and search for a film, it doesn't mention anything really about it. Like, doesn't even show you the back, so you can't tell what you're getting. Maybe that's on purpose, but if I go into, there's nothing under project video, overview is just about the film, details here, you'd think it would say, this is our special edition version, and here's what makes it special. But there's not really any information on that, so you just get the price and what it is. It doesn't even tell you that this is the director's cut. Is the director's cut better than the theatrical cut? I don't know. I mean, I really like Robocop. I've watched Robocop for years and thought it was great, but was I watching the theatrical cut or the director's cut? Is the director's cut a new thing, a new transfer that Arrow have done? I don't know. It doesn't say on the website. This is a pretty new acquisition for me, and I'm going to be watching it and hopefully enjoying it, but I don't really know what I'm getting. Is it going to be different to what I'm used to? Don't know. Maybe I need to buy an old version that's just the theatrical cut. If it exists. It doesn't exist on Arrow's website. And for me, all of these are kind of strange. You'd think that there would be something on here that said Robocop limited edition is sold out. you can't get it anymore. The Steelbook, you can't get it anymore. This is the only one you've got left. But there isn't anything like that. You have to go rooting through eBay to see the different versions of the different films and to find out, should my copy have more to it? It would be really great if they were just a little bit more open with how they display all this information, because I'm confused. I reached out to Apple to try and find out a little bit more about it, but they didn't get back to me, unfortunately. I mean, why would they? But it would have been good to get some clarification on these things, because, you know, I like Arrow films a lot. I've started collecting them. There's plenty of films on here that I want, for sure. And I'll probably end up spending quite a lot of money with them. I'm just a little bit annoyed that because I wasn't on the balls immediately, I had to miss out on a nice little booklet for this, or a special edition. It's a shame that things go out of print so quickly these days, is what I'm getting at. So that one I'll give it a watch. This is great. I'm glad I've got the booklet on this one. Feels like a genuine special edition for Network. But the Apartment one, I'm a little bit disappointed, because this is a great film, Billy Wilder's film. It's a classic. A lot of people talk about how great this is, but I'm not having 2 copies, and because I'm not gonna see if I can get something for the screenshot afterwards. Because I'm not gonna buy or keep 2 copies on my shelf, I now have to do away with having the book, because there's no point in having them both. That's a bit of a shame, but especially when it's listed as being a special edition. I've said special edition a million times, but it's only because I'm still confused, even after talking about it. If you kind of understand more about the studio's decisions, then let me know in the comments. I just want to know what I'm getting. I kind of feel like every release should always just be one version of it, and maybe one limited edition steelbook or something, if that's takes your fancy. I mean, it doesn't take my fancy, but some people really enjoy collecting these grand versions or these boxes, and they've got loads of like postcards and posters and all the rest in it. I mean, really, the most important thing to me is the film, and any bonuses you get on top of that are an extra. But just call it a standard edition then. Don't call it a special edition. I was thinking about Criterion, the way they do things, and they have one edition. Not counting 4K, it might come later, or DVD might come before. When they release a film, it's just the film. It comes in these fantastic, strong cases. They might have 1 or 2 discs in, and they'll almost always have a booklet with it, and it'll be a complete package that you can hold in your hand. And if you buy it on release day, or if you buy it 10 years later, it's the same. And that's great. You don't have to worry about it going out of print. Now, I'm sure it's different for a small company, although Arrow I don't think are very particularly small these days. I just really appreciate that with Criterion, that you can just pick it up and you know you're getting exactly what everyone else has got. You don't have to worry too much about it. And as someone who doesn't care for these huge box sets, I would be fine if there was a limited run immediately of those. But to then know that there was a special edition and a limited edition, and then later on there was just a bog standard one that they're trying to suggest is a special edition. It all seems a bit convoluted and a bit confusing and unnecessary, and a bit of a shame, because I can't afford to upgrade all of these to genuine special editions with extra stuff going on, or limited editions. In fact, I have what I have, and I wish they could figure out and just streamline the products just a bit. That would be great. Anyway, this is a pure rant film, but it's been bugging me for ages. And if it bugs you too, then we'll chat about it. I'm going to reach out to Arrow again and find out what their strategy is. But I just don't think it's great as a collector that I can't come across a film that they release a year later, 2 years later. I'm not always going to be on the ball immediately to get it straight away. And knowing that I'm going to get a product that's missing stuff. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is missing a booklet. Just is. Maybe I'll be able to find a booklet and put it in, but then it won't match all the writing on the back. So I don't want to do that. It's an annoyance and it bothers me, and I feel like if people took on the Criterion model more, that would be better. There are other labels here in the UK, perhaps around the world as well, that do more strictly follow the Criterion. Arrow felt like a bit of an anomaly to me, which is why I wanted to go through all these. I had to do quite a fair bit of research looking around all the different versions that I had, figuring out, why does this have a slipcase? Why does this have a booklet? What is the difference? Is it arbitrary? Is every release just somebody else is in charge of it at Arrow, and they're the ones that say, for this one I want to do this, that, and the other? I'd love to know the answers. But it doesn't make for a homogeneous catalogue. It just means that everything's kind of strange, and you don't really know what you're getting ever. And the website does not make it clear in any way what it is that you're getting. I've looked at a bunch of these, and I don't know what's in these. There should be more information. If you want to get this film, yes, you are getting just the film, but I presume this is just the bog standard version, and you're not going to get any extras with it. I don't even know this film, sorry. But there's loads of... Jamaica Inn, that's a great shout. I want to buy this. Am I going to get a stripped down version? This one actually lists some special features. Yeah, it's just a stripped down version. There's no booklet here. Maybe there never was. But I don't know that there never was unless I go online and start looking at it. So yeah, I hate to whinge all the time. Maybe that's just what my channel's going to be, nothing but a complete whinge. But it's interesting. It's weird. I need to chat to somebody at Arrow. If you work for Arrow, please contact me and explain what's going on, and then I can explain to everyone else what's going on. Anyway, I hope that's not too boring a conversation. I've been away for like a week and a half or so, and I noticed I had a few more subscribers, so hi, sorry for being boring git. You might also notice now I have all my collection up behind me, which is apparently the standard thing that Blu-ray movie collectors do. Which is not my intention. I didn't mean to be like that and to steal everyone else's idea. I just needed some storage, and that's the only place it would go. You can believe me, but you might not. I don't know. I watched Elliot Cohen's video about Blu-ray storage, and this is the one he recommended, and it's pretty good. It's not too hard to put together, and it's not too expensive either. And it'll hold, God knows how many. There's 60 on each row, and there's 10, so 600 it will hold. And yeah, now I get to be like a proper Blu-ray YouTuber. Got my movie posters in my collection behind me, and my little projector over here. Whoa, where is it? There it is. So, yeah, things are getting hopefully more professional. Probably not. It's just me whinging. I know that. But if you enjoy watching me whinge about stuff like this, I promise you, if I get answers to these questions, I will let you know. But next time I'm going to go back to talk about a film that I just bought. It came out on Shout Factory. It's a Magnificent 7, and I can't wait to talk about that one. It's on a 4K release, and it'll be much in the similar vein to the Marathon Man one. So it's more of a review, talking about the disc itself and the quality of it. If you're interested, the quality of this is amazing. There's a Arrow video about the restoration they did, and it's fantastic, the work that goes into it. Again, they're brilliant. I'm just so annoyed with them. Anyway, that's everything for today. Sorry for rambling on. I'll be back in a week, and hopefully we can have a chat in the comments. Do feel free to leave comments below. Please, nothing too nasty. I had one nasty comment, which is not ideal. But also lots of lovely ones. So thanks very much, and I will see you next week.